Welcome to the Real Estate Happy Hour. My name's Tony. I'm your host, and this is a place where we have real conversations about all things real estate, home buying, home selling, being a real estate agent and investor, all that good stuff. I'll answer your questions and also talk about what I see going on in the market. This week, we're in the third week of March, and we had a major settlement in the real estate industry. The way that realtors get compensated is about to change forever. And as a real estate agent myself, and also as a home buyer, I think that there's a lot of misinformation going around about this that I want to straighten out. This first section I like to call overrated or underrated. I pick a real estate headline and then give you my thoughts on whether this is a bigger deal than the news is making it out to be or not as big of a deal. So this week, addressing the 6% real estate commission. Here is exactly how real estate transactions have worked in the past and what is likely going to happen here moving forward. The way the real estate industry currently operates is sellers are responsible for paying commissions for both their agents and buyers' agents. Now, the misinformation I see going around is that they are required to pay both of those commissions. What actually happens is a listing agent will talk to them and say, hey, seller, I will list your house. I need you to pay me my commission. And then I also want to offer a commission to any potential buyer's agents who are going to bring buyers to your house. I want to incentivize them to bring their buyers through. That total commission amount usually winds up somewhere between 3.5% in higher price markets all the way up to 6% in total commission that then gets split somehow between the listing agent and the buyer's agent. That's how things used to work. This settlement is a milestone in the real estate industry because what is now going to happen starting in July is listing agents are no longer allowed to offer cooperating compensation to buyer's agents. Now, this is something that won't actually be visible to the general public. If you're scrolling through Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com, you typically won't see the commission offered to the other agent or to the buyer's agent. In some cases you can, but for the most part, that is all internal to realtors, which I don't think that should be private information. I think that should be readily shared. So starting in July, that cooperative compensation is not going to be available anymore. So any buyer's agent is going to need to present to a potential client of theirs saying, hey, here is how much I charge for the real estate transaction. Now, what I see happening is instead of the typical 2 to 3% that a buyer's agent will get paid now is different services will be offered. For instance, I'm going to start offering different levels of service to my buyer clients. One of the things as an agent that drives me nuts is I have, for every one client that I get to the closing table, I have 4 or 5 clients who never buy a house. Now think about that. Each client, I show probably 5 to 10 properties on average. That means for every one client that I show 5 to 10 properties, they close on one. Great. I love that. I'm happy for them. I have 4 or 5 other clients who I also have shown 5 to 10 properties. I've shown 60 properties plus before somebody goes under contract and actually gets a deal. Some of these properties are as far as an hour away. So that could be 120 to 160 hours of my time spent showing property just to get one deal through the door. Now, this is something that people don't necessarily talk about, but I am excited as a buyer's agent that I may be doing that less and less. Because one of the things that I'll start offering to clients is saying, hey, if you want to go see homes by yourself, you can pay me per showing to come out with you. And then I'll have a package for them to really help negotiate the deal, get all the paperwork drawn up, help them through inspections and appraisals, and navigate the whole real estate transaction. But all of a sudden, my time allotment per deal has gone down from, let's say, 40 hours down to 10 to 20. That is a much more manageable piece for me as a real estate agent where I can service more clients, give them a better deal, and provide a more budget-friendly option for my buyer clients. One of the other things that I see happening with this headline is that buyers will now be able to have more leeway in asking sellers for seller credits. So let's say you're going to sell a house. You're not actually concerned about the price that you're listing your property for. You're concerned about how much you will make once it's all said and done after commissions, fees, any other costs that are going to go into the sale. So let's say you list your home at $500,000. There's $40,000 of fees. You're going to make 460 grand in your house. That's great. Now, instead of making 460, you'll make 480 as a seller, but there's still that realm of possibility that a buyer comes in with an agent and you are asked to provide credits to the buyer at closing to compensate their agent. I see that becoming much more popular in the real estate space. I do that for clients already, where we'll ask for closing costs to cover any repairs that are needed or to buy down their loans, to do different things. But now I could see those agent commissions being wrapped into those closing costs. Now, do I think commissions are going to go down for buyer's agents? Yes, absolutely. And I'm okay with that. Because the second shift that I see going on is more agents will focus on listing properties. Now, this is one that I'm excited about. Over 60% of my listings come from off-market leads that I have paid to acquire. I do a lot of Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, TikTok, all of these digital channels to go connect with potential home sellers and providing them multiple options for selling their property. Now, this is going to be important because the agents who don't know how to do this are going to lose tons of business. But the ones who do now can offer either a premium for their services for a full service listing, or they can offer similar consultative services to their sellers. Now, this is a lot of stuff that's going to change behind the scenes. Realistically, sellers will not be impacted by this that much, but buyers will. So in short, I think that this is not an overreaction. I think the real estate market is changing forever, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. People just need to learn to adapt. So if you specifically are a buyer interested in purchasing a property but don't necessarily want to pay an agent, go ahead and DM me the word agent free, and I'll send you a crash course on the entire home buying process so that you can get educated, get acclimated, and get more information on why you may want an agent or may not.